It's the 2nd of June 2020. Look what has arrived in the post today. The Sony A7 II. Now, a lot of you are probably wondering, why have I bought a 5-6 year old camera in the year 2020? Because I wanted a new one. Basically, this is my old camera. It's heavy. This is an Olympus E3. It's a full 4/3, tiny little sensor in there. So if you can see that, I'll hold it up. That's the 4/3 sensor. It's not micro 4/3, it's the old 4/3. That's a really small sensor in there. So you've got your crop factor. This is a 14-54 lens, so that's 28-108. It's heavy. It's got the battery grip on the bottom. It's 10 megapixels. Doesn't shoot any video. Now, I shoot all my video on the Sony NX80, the HXR NX80. Fantastic camera. 4K. It's got pro audio. Does everything I want it to do. Slow motion, this, that and the other. So I wanted to upgrade the stills camera, but I wanted to have a bit of video capability as well, so that I could use this as a B cam. So we've gone into the full frame sensor. How's this come off? There we go. You can see that sensor in there compared to the Olympus. It's a little bit different. It comes with a 28-70mm lens. That is going to be 28-70mm because it's on the full frame sensor. So basically it's like your old 35mm cameras, whatever lens you put on it is the focal length. I've got quite a few OM lenses on an old manual camera, so I can get an adapter for this. And I could get an adapter for this one, but I just never got round to it. With this I can put the old OM lenses on it with an adapter. I've got a battery grip on here. Now I didn't go for a Sony battery grip because they're about £300, euros, whatever. This is the mk2, the Pro version, which comes with a remote control. I'm still waiting for another battery to turn up. I've got the other battery on charge at the moment. I have put the battery in, fired it up, just had a bit of a play with it. So yeah, the reason I bought this wasn't predominantly for a video camera. I wanted stills, 24 megapixels, shooting in RAW. Now, when these first came out, it was a compressed RAW. I'm assuming that they've changed something in the firmware. It's now got compressed and uncompressed RAW. So we'll see what that's like on the computer a little bit later on. That's going to be everything that I'm going to want in a stills camera, but it's got the 1080, same codec that the main video camera shoots in, which is XAVCS or something. This shoots in the same codec. It hasn't got the same picture profiles. The video camera that we're shooting on has got picture profiles. It's got HLG, S-Log2, S-Log3. This only does S-Log2, I think. I've not gone through it, but the picture profiles only got to 7 in this. On that one, they got to 10. But it's horses for courses. At the end of the day, this is a picture camera that takes videos. So it's a little Brucey bonus for you. I'm not quite sure why the world has gone the way it has with people doing video on mirrorless cameras, SLRs, digital SLRs. The way they're designed, it's for taking pictures. You know, put your eye up to it. The way a video camera is designed is for taking videos. But people have got it into their heads that they've got to have a digital SLR for filmmaking, which I don't see it myself, because everything on that camera is all built in. It's got the it's got XLR Pro audio, 2 memory card slot, the flip out screen, built-in ND filters, which this one hasn't got. That's video, this is pictures. But because this has got the same codec filming, this will be alright as a B cam or if I'm just out and I just want to shoot a little bit of video, you know, there's no flip out screen, it flips up. You've all seen the videos of these A7 IIs, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it outside. I'm going to take the Olympus outside. We'll shoot some pictures in RAW on the Olympus. I'll try and keep the settings the same as far as I can. This is a 2.8 to 3.5 variable when you zoom in and out. This one is a 3.5 to 5.6, so that won't open up as much, but I think on the 4/3 it's different anyway, so that might let more light in than the Olympus. So we'll do some pictures side by side, same settings on both cameras, apertures, ISOs, all that kind of thing. We'll see what difference is. It's going to be quite interesting because this Olympus takes some stunning pictures. It's only 10 megapixels, but and I had the E1 before this, which was only 5 megapixels. We gave that to my sister, but we upgraded to this one, which was the 10 megapixels. The E5, which was after this one, did have video capabilities, but it was only 720. So it's just got big, heavy, old. It still takes fantastic pictures, but I wanted to take some astrophotography out there the other night, and where it lets this camera down is in low light and focusing. It's proper slow to focus, and low light is really noisy. Don't matter where you put your ISO or anything. I've tried all sorts of things. This one apparently is not brilliant at low light video or anything like that, but I think with the pictures I want to take at night time, this one hopefully will be alright. I think we can get away with a bit more noise in the images than we can with that one, but we'll see. So we'll get these outside and we'll take some shots. Here on the left we've got the Sony, and here on the right we've got the Olympus. This is the actual size of the picture. The Sony in RAW shoots 6000 by 4000, and the Olympus is 3646 by 2736. So you can see that the Sony's quite a bit bigger, but we'll zoom in on the Olympus, get it up to about the same sort of size. Just see the differences. The shadows in the Sony, there's still quite a lot of detail, whereas in the Olympus it's sort of just dark. But we'll zoom in a little bit more. We'll just drag that over there like that. So we'll look at this here. Let's zoom this one in. We'll try and get that the same sort of size. You've still got quite a lot of detail in the shadows on this side. This side it's sort of darkened up. Now I've set these both on Adobe Neutral. When it comes through, you get the Adobe RAW settings. There's so many profiles. You can't just have your camera settings RAW. It always puts a profile on it. So I've set them both to Adobe Neutral to try and get them as close as possible. And we'll zoom in a little bit more. That's 400% on the Sony. And for me, that is quite acceptable. Let's check out the Olympus at 400%. You know, there's a bit of noise coming in on the black there. And the Sony, it's not quite as bad. So this is 400%, but obviously the Olympus is a bit behind because it's smaller. So we'll have to bring that up to 500%. And you can see it's starting to get a bit noisy in the background here when you blow it up that big. But at the end of the day, it's a 4/3 sensor. So, you know, let's see if we can find that same. You know, on the Sony on the left here, you get quite a bit of detail still in there, and it's sort of just starting to smudge out a little bit on that side. Let's back out at 200%. And the equivalent on the Sony is almost equivalent. It's at 100%. So that's the actual size. that's the actual size for the Olympus. It just shows you the difference in the sizes. But I say the Olympus, it's a 2005 camera, whereas the Sony, although it's not new, it is a full frame sensor. Right, we'll swap round now. So this is Olympus on the left, Sony on the right. I've set the profiles both to Adobe Neutral. The Sony 6000 by 4000 pixels, and the Olympus same again, 3648 by 2736. There is a slight difference in the colour, although it was set to Adobe Neutral. This is raw from the camera, so we're on the Olympus. We'll zoom in on the we'll go for 400% on that. We'll have a look at the Sony now. That's 400% on the Sony, but I mean, if we go back out 300%, I don't know if that's a bit bigger or not. It's actually quite, you zoom right in. It's cameras were both set on the same aperture, same ISO setting. You can see the difference. It's not a great deal of difference, but there is a difference in the colours, which you didn't notice so much in the last side by side. But yeah, that's about it for that. So we'll zoom them both back out again. And that's the actual size again. So, the one on the left, that's 4/3. And this one on the right is the full frame sensor. I think the one on the right is a more natural colour. You see the grass is actually green, whereas on the Olympus on the left here, the grass has got a bit of a hue to it, a bit of a orangey colour. It looks like a filter has been applied to it already on the Olympus, whereas on the Sony that looks quite accurate for colours. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the old side-by-side review. So that is why I bought the Sony A7 II in the year 2020. It's replacing the old Olympus E3, which is big, heavy. It's only 10 megapixels. Autofocus is very, very slow. People slate this one for the autofocus, but for my needs, it is perfect. I don't do any fast sports or anything like that. And so far, with the grip, it's been absolutely superb. So don't take my word for it. Check out some other reviews on YouTube, and you'll see that this is a fantastic camera. It's not the best vlogging camera because it's not got the tilt-out screen. Even the Olympus has got a tilt-out screen. But it doesn't shoot video. But that's not the reason I've got this camera. The main reason I got it is for photography, which I'm going to be behind the camera. I don't need to hold it out and see what I'm doing. But because it's got the video capability and it's the same codec as this camera, it's easy to match the colours. It doesn't shoot in HLG, which the big camera does. So, it won't be absolutely spot on the same, but it'll be good enough for a B cam. And that's one of the reasons I went for this one and not the A7 III, because obviously does all the different picture profiles, but it was about £1,000 more than this. This is absolutely superb. Battery grip by Miki. I'll do a little review on that at some point. I've just charged up the second battery for it now. That's going to extend the life of the shooting. You've got 2 batteries on the go because it does get through the batteries quite quick. But yeah, that is why I bought this camera, and I'm chuffed to bits with it. So yeah, we'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.